YouTube channel, Olivia and Olivia's Romantic Home. And in today's video, I am so excited to share with you 7 DIY Dollar Tree decor crafts. So this is another episode in my huge I Love Christmas series. I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. Listen, y'all don't have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. Now I'm also hosting a giveaway, so you guys listen for that secret question and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. And I'll be announcing the winner on next Thursday's video. But without further ado, go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting.
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to make a super glamorous, beautiful centerpiece. I'm going to start with this Dollar Tree charger and this Dollar Tree piece of styrofoam. I like to add a big dollop of hot glue to my styrofoam and my charger and then press it down and let it dry. That will really get it to stay on really well. And I do use a high heat glue gun, and I'll link my glue gun in my Amazon store in the description box below. The next thing I want to use is 2 of the Dollar Tree mini Christmas trees, and I'm going to recommend to hot glue the end of the mini Christmas tree to get it to stay into the styrofoam. You don't want it popping out mid decorating on your centerpiece. So I'm just going to pop one end to one end and then the other Christmas tree into the other end, and that's going to give me my greenery piece. Now don't panic if you don't have this. You guys can always use a piece of garland. The next thing I want to do is take about 10 Dollar Tree pipe cleaners and just cut them in half, and then I'm going to use 2 rolls of the Dollar Tree Deco mesh, and I'm going to measure them about 12 inches long, and then I'm going to cut them and make curly Q bundles. So I was actually able to find some deco mesh at Dollar Tree, lo and behold, so always continue to check. I found silver and gold, so that's what inspired me to do this glam garland, and I just found this like a couple of days ago, you guys. So the next thing I want to do after I make my cuts on my deco mesh is just roll my deco mesh like I'm rolling up a little burrito. Super easy, and then pinch it with your fingers. If you have a hard time holding it with your fingers, you can always use a chip clip to hold that piece of mesh together. The next thing I want to do is roll up a piece of gold. So when you're doing 2 different colors, you can do gold, or silver, gold, silver. Just get creative and have fun with it. The next thing I want to do is roll one more piece of silver, and again, I'm just rolling it like you would roll a burrito. Super easy. And then I have 3 little bundles here. And now I want to take that pipe cleaner that I cut in half. You don't need a full pipe cleaner. You don't want to waste your pipe cleaners. So you're just going to twist tie it onto your deco mesh bundle. And then you'll make a bunch of these bundles. And again, I used 2 rolls of the Dollar Tree deco mesh for this project. Now don't panic if you can't find deco mesh at your Dollar Tree. They have it at the local craft stores right now for about a couple of dollars. And it's even on sale for Christmas, you guys. So don't forget to use your coupon and look for those great Christmas sales. Now I'm going to go ahead and pre-cut quite a bit of mesh because I'm going to be using it on some other projects. So that's a little tip I have for you, is to go ahead and pre-cut it and then make your bundles all at one time. Have fun with it, get creative, and don't panic with mesh. Just take a deep breath. So now I have all of my bundles made. How magical, right guys? Pop on a show or some fun music. I love to listen to music while I craft. The next thing I want to do is take my bundles, and I'm just going to trim off the pipe cleaner, but make sure that pipe cleaner is twisted up nice and tight because you don't want your bundles to pop apart. And then I'm just going to take the evergreen branches and twist the evergreen branches over on top of the bundles, and that's going to keep your little bundles on there. Now you can also take your pipe cleaner and pipe cleaner the bundles onto your little evergreen branches, whatever suits your fancy, whatever works best for you. So I ended up using 4 bundles on each Christmas tree. So I tied 2 on kind of the base, 1 in the center, and then 1 towards the end. And I did take that Christmas tree, the top part, and kind of curl it under because you really don't need that super long piece on the Dollar Tree Christmas tree. The next thing I'm going to do is then begin to work on the other side of my centerpiece. So again, I'm just going to use 4 bundles on this side. I'm going to trim off those pipe cleaners and then begin to attach the little bundles. So use 2 at the base and then begin to work your way up. And then once you have that done, that's really going to fill out those kind of puny little Christmas trees. And again, if you don't have the Christmas trees, don't panic. Just use a piece of evergreen garland. It will be just as nice. So here is how it should look once you have your Christmas trees attached in your pretty little bundles. I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to make a beautiful bow. So I'm going to measure my bow from my hand to my elbow, and that's going to make about a 12-inch bow. This ribbon I did find on deep discount at Hobby Lobby. All of their Christmas ribbon is on deep discount. And so I'm just going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself, and I'm going to make a quick little Olivia bow is what I call it. But basically you're just going to take that ribbon and loop it over on itself. And I do that about 6 times or until I have 3 loops on each side, and then I leave a tail at the end. So just continue to loop the ribbon over on itself, and do try to keep the ribbon on top of the loop. So as you loop, make sure it doesn't twist out or together. Sometimes my ribbon likes to twist out or together more than other times. So again, I'm just continuing to loop it over on itself and making sure that all those little loops are kind of staying together. Then I'm going to take my scissors and just cut that off, and then I'm going to find my center, and then I'm going to add a pipe cleaner to the center. Now I didn't add a little notch at the center with my scissors because I do want to be able to reuse this ribbon for some winter wonderland DIYs for you guys. The next thing I want to do is I want to take and pull my pretty ribbon loops out. Now this is really the secret to your bow, you guys, is you really need to pull those ribbon loops out, give them a little twist and a nice old-fashioned fluffing. Fluffy them up and then add them to your centerpiece or your wreath or whatever you're going to use your bow in, and then fluff them some more. Fluff and twist and fluff and twist. But check it out. How pretty is this bow? You're going to have a tail that's long, and you're going to have another kind of short tail that's tucked up in there. The next thing I want to share with you guys is a little hack. I take a floral stem and I bend it in half, and then I use that to attach my bows onto my projects. When it's like a little centerpiece like this, you can add some hot glue and just pop that into there. You can also twist tie it on there onto the back and just add it that way as well. And so there you guys have that. Now I did add another bow that is exactly the same as this bow to the back of my centerpiece. So it's symmetrical or very beautiful on the other side. The next thing I'm doing is just taking some Dollar Tree gold ribbon and then some of that same ribbon that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to twist tie it into my garland. So I'm going to make about 2 to 3 little poofs here. So I'm going to twist tie it into the garland and then kind of pull it and poof it out and just kind of layer it in. And you do want to separate the ribbon out as you're kind of poofing it. So you can see I'm kind of separating it so you can see the gold and the pretty white sparkling ribbon. And then once you get it to the end, you can just trim that off. Don't forget to dovetail your ends because you want a nice, pretty finish. And then you have, oh my goodness, you're working with a beautiful centerpiece, and then you can get really creative as you move along. So I'm really going to be challenging myself to dig into my craft stash at this point in the season and really use what I already have on hand. Now I'm going to mimic what I did on this side on the other side. So again, I'm just going to pop that ribbon in and then kind of pull it out, and then take the evergreen branches, cross them over on themselves, and then do that again. So I have 2 little ribbon loops, and then I have a little tail here, dovetail those ends. Now I'm going to use 2 of the Dollar Tree gold ornaments. These are really beautiful. They're nice and large. I'm going to kind of tie them in on the center here just by adding some hot glue and popping them in. Again, get creative. And again, these are ornaments that are floating around in the bottom of my ornament bin. I'm also going to use some of these pretty Dollar Tree gold berries. Again, more goodies that are floating around in my floral bin. And then I'm just going to hot glue the ends of those and pop those into my pretty centerpiece. Get creative, have fun, and go for it. The next thing I found in my floral stash was some pretty silver sparkling picks. Now with these glam arrangements, I really like to mix my metals. I think that's really pretty. And if you have some silver and gold in your home, I did a lot of beautiful silver and gold in my dining room. So I have my eye on this as a centerpiece for my table. I also like making these very low. That way when my family is dining or I'm having a little get together, a very small get together, I can see all of my guests. So the next thing I want to do is add some pretty little gold ornaments from end to end, and that way I can have just a more sparkle and shine. And again, you can see I'm mixing my metals with a little bit of silver, gold, and then some white, and that's going to be pulling all of the colors that are already in my arrangement together. So really take a look at what's in your ribbon colors and then pull that together. And then Dollar Tree has these little Christmas present ornaments. They make the perfect thing to pop your candle onto. So I just hot glued that into the center. I popped my beautiful flickering flameless candle, which you guys have to check these out. They have them on Amazon and they are so wonderful. They come in a 3-pack and they're battery operated. They're super inexpensive and they come on a timer and a remote. So you can just use your remote, pop them on, time them for however long you want them on, and then turn them off with your remote or they'll just automatically time out. And they're super safe if you have kids or pets or grandkids. I love them and the battery lasts forever. So you would think, they would go out pretty quickly. They really don't. Here is how it looks popped into my beautiful little kind of winter wonderland glam setting. And I am just crushing on this. So fun and fabulous. For the next DIY, we're going to do a beautiful wreath. I'm starting out with some Dollar Tree Deco Mesh and the Dollar Tree Snowman Let It Snow. I'm going to take the Deco Mesh and attach it to this evergreen garland flocked wreath base that I found at Walmart. It's $12.98 at Walmart. It's a beautiful wreath base. And I'm just going to take and I'm going to twist the Deco Mesh onto the garland, and I'm just crossing the Deco Mesh over with the little evergreen branches. So you take the 2 evergreen branches and cross them over the Deco Mesh and then pull the Deco Mesh out into about 12 to 14-inch poofs. So you just kind of pull it out, cross the branches over on themselves, and then you'll have a bunch of little poofs. So I used 1 roll of red Deco Mesh and then I used 1 roll of silver. And I went with the silver and I went kind of more around the edges of it because I really think that this evergreen wreath base is just so beautiful with the flocking. I didn't want to cover it all up. And I'm going to put my Snowman Dollar Tree sign in the center. So I want that to peek around and have that kind of snowy effect. But I did want to fill the wreath out with some of the Deco Mesh and just make it really fun and festive and give it that little bit of extra sparkle and shine that you guys know I love. Again, I'm doing the same thing with the silver Deco Mesh. I'm just crossing the branches over on themselves and pulling them over, pulling the mesh out in about 8 to 10 inch loops. And here is how it should look after you've added your mesh. The next thing I want to do is begin to get my Let It Snow Snowman sign ready. I'm taking a pipe cleaner and adding a dab of hot glue, and then I'm using a tag from Dollar Tree and adding that on top of the pipe cleaner and hot glue. What I want to create is like a little way to hold this on to my wreath, so it will make it like a floating sign. So this is a little hack that I have for you guys. And the next thing I want to do is make a quick little Olivia bow. I'm going to use this red Dollar Tree ribbon, and I'm just going to take it and loop it over on itself about 4 to 6 times. And that's going to make a pretty little bow. I did want to leave a little bit on this ribbon roll though. The Dollar Tree ribbon comes 9 foot, so I want to make a little bow off to the side, but I want to add some more bows in and around the wreath. So again, I'm just taking the evergreen branches and crossing them over on themselves, and that's going to hold the bow onto the wreath. This wreath is going to stay inside, so I'm not super worried about securely attaching everything with wire and all of that rigmarole. It's just going to hang on the wall and it should be just fine. The next thing I want to use is some of this pretty snowman ribbon that I found at Hobby Lobby. And again, all the ribbon at Hobby Lobby is super at a deep discount right now because it is Christmas time. And so check for that. and I'm just going to take the ribbon, loop it over on itself about 4 times, and then tie that onto the little wreath center of the red ribbon here. So I'm just taking the evergreen branches where I had tied the red one on, I separate it out and then tie it over on itself. So I just use one set of evergreen branches, and then I'm just continuing to add in more and more ribbon. I hope that makes sense. Comment and let me know if that's making sense for you guys. And now I'm just going to take and pull my little ribbon loops out. And then I also found this cute little gingham ribbon at Hobby Lobby, again at a discount. I love that. And so I'm just going to add that into the center part of that. I thought that would be kind of the perfect just little whimsical funsy ribbon. And think about this too, which I've already been thinking about shopping for, is you can use some of the Christmas ribbon for your Valentine's Day projects. So once it goes on 70 to 90% off, which I don't think it is yet, but once it goes 70 to 90% off, you guys can get really great deals on your holiday ribbon, and it'll translate into Valentine's Day. So go ahead and fluffy up your bows, and then I'm just going to take and I'm going to cut ribbon about 12 to 14 inches long and make just some little ribbon loops. So you can see that I'm just taking and I'm making a little ribbon loop. I'm going to dovetail my ends by cutting a little triangle in an upwards direction so it makes it look really pretty. And then I'm just going to take the evergreen branch, cross them over on themselves, and tie that ribbon in. So see, there you guys have that, and you have a pretty little addition into your wreath. I didn't realize that that's where my snowman ribbon was hiding, but it was hiding inside the wreath. So I found it, and now I'm going to go ahead and add some more of that snowman ribbon. So I did go ahead and add about 4 of these little bundles in and around the outside of the wreath, just to tie in where the bow was. Next thing that I thought would be super adorable would be to add some of these Dollar Tree sweater ornaments, and so I added about 3 or 4 of those. I just decided to go ahead and hot glue them. That was the easiest way to do that, and they seem to stay on there fairly well. I love these Dollar Tree sweater ornaments, you guys. They looked so high end to me, like something you would see, you know, at a Pottery Barn or something like that. So I'm just hot gluing them and popping them in and kind of trying to place them symmetrically in and around the edge of the wreath. Now, the other thing that I have floating around in my craft stash were these cute little curly cues. These were at Walmart for about $1.57, I think, and they looked really cute, and they're kind of tying in with that black and white. So here is how the wreath is looking. I think that this was so fun and easy, and I hope this is giving you guys some ideas on how to use some of those Dollar Tree signs and deco mesh and just some ribbons. So this really wasn't super difficult to do. Hopefully it gives you guys some ideas on how to have fun with your deco mesh and your ribbons and your extra ornaments that you guys might have still floating around in your Christmas craft stash. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I wanted to share with you guys how to take that Dollar Tree Santa basket and cover it with a pretty Dollar Tree men's scarf. I'm going to take the men's scarf and just go ahead and trim off the little fringe at the end, but hang on to that because that will be fun in another project, I'm sure, coming up in another DIY video. So the next thing I want to do is just begin to hot glue the men's scarf in and around the basket. And this really wasn't that hard. So you just add a dab of hot glue and begin to hot glue it. And you're just going to continue to hot glue in and around the basket as you go. And then I did add a dab of hot glue on the inside of the basket. And that way my cute little basket is going to be covered. And yes, the Santa basket is cute as is, but if you wanted to give it a little bit of a softer look, going for maybe a little bit more of a cozy look, and maybe you also want it to match in with your decor a little bit better, or maybe you even have an old sweater or an old flannel laying around, you could even make it into a memory basket. I think it's so fun to use a fabric in different ways, and I think covering a basket is a way to give it new life and also just make it that more fabulous. So just continue to wrap it around, and you kind of wrap and tuck and wrap and tuck, and then once you get to the end, you can add one more dabble of hot glue down the side and then wrap and tuck and just pull the rest of the men's scarf into the center part of it, and then you can just hot glue that in, and you kind of want to lay it down and kind of flatten it out. And look at how pretty this looks. I feel like this looks like something that you would buy at Target for at least $10 to $12, and it only cost us $2 plus your hot glue. So, and then you can just really add some cozy goodies to it. You could do pine cones or some of the sweater ornaments, or really the sky is the limit. Just have fun with it, go for it. And again, you can even use what you already have on hand. You don't even have to use this basket, maybe a little thrift store basket or whatnot. And here's how it looks popped into our little pretty Christmas setting. Oh, so fun and fabulous. For the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to do a centerpiece, and I'm going to start out with the Dollar Tree charger and this Dollar Tree styrofoam. I'm going to hot glue the charger and the styrofoam, and I use high heat hot glue. I'm going to link my hot glue gun in the description box below for you guys. I get it off Amazon and it is awesome. Okay, now I'm going to take some of these Dollar Tree poinsettias and gold berries, and I'm going to use this greenery, and I'm just going to hot glue the greenery around the styrofoam to kind of cover up the charger just a little bit. We are going to let it peek out the silver part just a hair, and I am going to add one more dab of hot glue to kind of secure the greenery in and around the styrofoam piece. So here is what it's going to look like. The next thing I want it to do is take 2 bundles of Dollar Tree poinsettias, and then I'm just going to clip them off with my little wire cutters, and I robbed these from Mr. Romantic's toolbox, and I'm just going to go ahead and then begin to poke the little poinsettias into the styrofoam, and I'm just going to work my way around. I'm going to kind of make them at different levels, though. You don't really want to put them all in at the same level. You want to make them look almost like they're blooming out of the side of your centerpiece. I wanted to share with you guys a really traditional kind of centerpiece with the poinsettias, and also something that's very budget friendly and using items that you might already have on hand. These would also be really nice because they're just this small round. So if you're decorating a table for church or a banquet or something like that, and you need to do a lot of these, you can do these very quickly and easily. So again, I'm going to continue to wrap my little poinsettias in and around my styrofoam until I get to the very end. And then you can kind of get creative with it as you go along. Maybe you had some little doodly dads laying around in your craft stash, which I do. I had some pretty little sparkle and shine pretty little mini poinsettias. I guess that's what they were. I wasn't really quite for sure, but they were kind of sparkly. So I chose those, and I just clipped those off and added those in and around my regular poinsettias. And then the other things I found that I thought looked pretty were some little gold berries. So the gold berries I really love, and Dollar Tree actually carried some berries that were like a champagne color this year, and they were so beautiful. I felt like they were really high end, just something that you would would see more at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. So again, I'm going to go ahead and trim those off and then pop them in and around. I only had 4 of these, I believe, and so I just used one on each side of those square styrofoam pieces. And here is how that should look as you're popping in your gold little berries. So really, so far we only have about $5 to $6 into this, depending upon how full you want this to look. So here's how it should look so far. The next thing I want to do is add in some pretty ornaments. I have this large red one, and then I'm going to add some gold ornaments. And again, I already had these in my craft stash, and you guys can buy a whole sleeve of ornaments at Dollar Tree. There's about 10 to a whole sleeve, and for $1. So you can really make these go very far. And I'm really thinking if you're doing church centerpieces for a lot of people or something, which I know we're not doing a lot of people really for anything, but I'm just thinking, if you needed to do several of these, maybe you're making these for gifts for family members or whatnot. Anyway, we're going to measure some pretty Dollar Tree tartan plaid ribbon, and I'm going to loop it over on itself. And I just measured it from my hand to my elbow to start the ribbon off. So I'm just going to take it and loop the ribbon over on itself. And there's just a super easy way to make a bow. This is what I call my Olivia bow. I want to get about 6 loops here. We're going to make a nice, pretty, fluffy bow, and that's really going to cover the rest of that styrofoam. Now, you don't have to get this full of a bow, but you guys know me, I love big bows, and I cannot lie, and I think it just makes it look really classy and fabulous, like something that you've ordered from a floral design store. And let me tell you, if you guys go to a florist, you're really going to pay a lot for this type of a Christmas floral. So have fun with it, get creative. Don't forget to dovetail your ends to make those ribbon ends really pretty. Don't just leave them floppy or a jagged edge. Take and give them a nice little end, whether or not you cut a little side slit or cut a little triangle, but just make it pretty. And then I took a floral stem and I'm just going to twist that on to my little bow here, and you twist it onto the back, and then you can just poke that into your styrofoam. And that's a little hack I have for you. And that's just a floral stem that's left over from trimming off some of those florals. I added some hot glue because I'm a safety girl and I want this to stay. I don't want my bows popping out. And then there you have that. And so you're just going to pull your little loops out and make them all nice and pretty and fluffy and fabulous. And oh my goodness, you guys, I think this is looking so gorgeous, and we've only spent a couple of dollars here. I'm going to use the rest of the remainder ribbon to kind of pull and loop it from the back part of our project, just to, go ahead and use the rest of it. Make it fluffy, make it fabulous. And then I'm going to use my little battery operated candle here. I love these. They're on Amazon in a 3-pack. I'm going to link some of my store for you guys. But they're battery operated. They come on a timer, and they're so safe for kiddos and pets and grandkids. And here is how your little centerpiece should look. These are easy to put together. They're fun. Oh my goodness, it's so fun and fabulous. And think about this. If you guys don't want to do red, you could do any color that's going to match in with your holiday decor. Have fun and go for it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a beautiful peace bell. So I'm going to take and I'm going to hot glue some evergreen to the top of this Dollar Tree bell, and then I'm just going to trim off the excess evergreen. And the next thing I want to do is use these pretty little kind of white florals, and I'm going to pin them to the top and just give a little bit of hot glue to secure them in. I really want to jazz up this Dollar Tree bell. I don't want it to look cheap and flimsy. I want it to look really high end, like something you would buy at a high-end decor boutique. The next thing I want to do is use some gold ribbon and then some of this Hobby Lobby ribbon that we had left over from our centerpiece, and I'm just going to make a little quick tuxedo bow here. So you just take the ribbon loops, loop them together, hot glue them or tie them off with another piece of ribbon, and then make some tails. You can hot glue your tails on to your project, and then you have this quick little cheap bow. If you guys needs help with bows, I will link a bow video for you guys down below. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is just dovetail my ends. Always make your ends on your ribbon pretty. That's going to just make it look so much more high end. And then add in that pretty piece of accent ribbon. It's going to give you guys layers, and it's going to give your eye something to dance over. Add some hot glue, add in that ribbon tail, and then you can add in your bow. And then you want to think about some smaller accent pieces. So for this one, I decided to choose some pretty little berries. These gold champagne berries were perfect for this project. And I also want to add the peace sign. Those galvanized letters come in a 3-pack at Dollar Tree, and they look so high end to me. So I'm adding 3 of the little Dollar Tree berries, and I think these berries are really pretty. And again, they don't look like they came from Dollar Tree, especially the champagne colored ones that they had out this year. I think they're so beautiful. Add some more hot glue, and you are going to need to hold these things in. So hold them in until that hot glue has dried so they stay on there nice and secure. And then the next thing I wanted to add was just a little bit of some decor with some ornaments and also some of these sparkling cedar picks. Dollar Tree is carrying sparkling cedar picks. They're 6 to a pack, and they just make things look so beautiful. And they're also going to help you hold those berries in. So they're kind of going to do double duty. They're just going to give your eye something to dance over. They're also carrying these beautiful pine cones. And again, these look really high end and beautiful. So I'm adding in those pine cones. And then I even went a step further and added in some pretty bells. And then here is how it should look. Now I'm adding in that pretty peace sign. I just thought that that would just be so beautiful. I feel like we really need to spread some peace, love, and joy this season. And the other thing that I did add that I didn't share with you guys on camera was a little bit of some gold ribbon. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys a really cute little centerpiece using one of these Dollar Tree kind of candy cardboard boxes in this evergreen. I did hot glue a piece of styrofoam into the little peppermint candy box, and then I'm just going to add in some evergreen. The next thing I want to do is use some of these sparkling picks, and I'm going to actually do double duty with these by using the picks to secure the evergreen into the little box as well. You could even hot glue them if you wanted to. Now this is probably going to stay at my home, and so I'm not worried about it getting wiggled around too much. And then if you guys can see off to the side, I have this cute little Dollar Tree deer figurine that I'm going to add into the center of this. And now this is how it should look after you have your sparkling picks added. And I think these little deer figurines are so cute. They look so whimsical, almost something that you would see in Mackenzie Childs. Now the next thing I want to do is just take some evergreen branches and twist the little deer onto the little centerpiece. And then I'm going to take some red Dollar Tree ribbon, and I measured it from my hand to my elbow. I'm going to make a quick little Olivia bow, no tools required here. So you're just going to take your ribbon and loop it over on itself about 6 times. We want to make a really big, beautiful, fluffy bow. And let me tell you, this Dollar Tree ribbon was actually really amazing. It was really nice and stiff. It had wire in it, and it held its shape wonderfully. So if I go back to Dollar Tree, I'm going to try to stock up on this for my Valentine's Day projects. The next thing I did was just go ahead and tie it off in the center with a little pipe cleaner and then fluffy up those bows. Now look at how great these loops look. They really held their shape. And I was listening to some Van Morrison again today, so you're going to see some awkward mom dancing here and there. Now I'm going to clip off the pipe cleaner because I don't need that. And I don't worry about matching my pipe cleaner to my project because you don't ever see the pipe cleaner on my project, and I don't sell these. I just make them for funsies or give them as gifts. So the next thing I want to do is just go ahead and fluffy these out really nicely. And this is how it should look. Your bow should look after you have it nice and fluffed. And then you also want to make sure that you dovetail the end on your little pretty ribbon. You're going to just take your scissors and cut an upwards triangle and make it nice and pretty because you don't want to have any funky ends. The next thing I want to do is add in a little bit of this candy stripe ribbon. And now the candy stripe ribbon was from Hobby Lobby, but all of their ribbon is at a 50% discount or even better. So definitely keep an eye out for that great discount on holiday ribbon. Now I added that into the back of the bow, and I just took the evergreen branches and crossed them over onto the bow to kind of secure it in. The next thing I wanted to do was add a little bit more ribbon into the center part and the front. The next thing I want to do is add in some Dollar Tree kind of candy swirled ornaments, and these come in one of those big sleeves of 10, and so you get quite a bit of bang for your buck. So I'm just using some hot glue, and I'm going to add a dabble of hot glue and then pop them in. I think I used about 3 or 4 for this, and just kind of want to stagger them and make them look really pretty. And I am loving how this whimsical centerpiece is coming out. I really feel like I love having these little centerpieces made up, because then you can give them as a gift and they're really going to brighten someone's day. I may give this to my mom or my aunt. I'm really not for sure. I may pop this into one of my bathrooms. I don't know. I just love having these to kind of set around. It's a smaller one, and so it probably wouldn't be big enough for a dining room table centerpiece, but it'd be nice for like a little bedroom, or just somewhere that you haven't decorated that you wanted to add some extra holiday cheer to. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to add a little bit more ribbon into this, and I had this red and green Hobby Lobby ribbon because I noticed the little scarf around the deer's neck had that green. So I just thought that would pull in the colors even a little bit more. So I'm just taking the ribbon and making one little loop and then hot gluing that in. Dovetail those ends, and then voila, you have a very fabulous little centerpiece. And oh my goodness, I think this turned out way better than expected and so fun and fabulous. So dig into your craft stash, get out that ribbon, get out those bows, and go for it, you guys. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to make a beautiful poinsettia centerpiece. So I'm just going to take this little thrift store, it's like a little wooden kind of basket, and I have some styrofoam popped into it. I'm going to take this bundle of Dollar Tree white poinsettias, and I'm going to add a little dabble of hot glue to the ends. That way they don't go popping out of my arrangement. This is going to be just kind of a little whimsical, funsy arrangement. I'd only had this set of poinsettias. So again, I'm using what I have on hand. I'm going to make a quick little bow. I'm just going to take this gold ribbon and loop it over on itself about 5 or 6 times, and then tie it off in the center with my pipe cleaner. The next thing I want to do is pull my ribbon loops out. I'm then going to take some greenery and add some greenery in and around the base of this, because I don't want to see that styrofoam. And again, I didn't have any more poinsettias, so I wanted to kind of build an arrangement in and around this, and I wanted the styrofoam covered up, and I wanted to have something that I could hot glue some pretty ornaments into, if that makes sense. Okay, so once I have the evergreen added, then I want to hot glue my bow to the base and side of my little cute arrangement here. And again, this is going to be another fun little arrangement that would be great for a little bathroom or a little side table or a little kitchen or anywhere that you needed that extra razzle dazzle, sparkle and shine. Now I'm adding in some cute little Dollar Tree ornaments, and I'm going to apologize for having it kind of turned to the side where you guys couldn't see that first part, but here they are. I just hot glued them right on to the center here, and then I'm adding in some more little Dollar Tree gold balls and some little smaller sparkling ornaments in and around where the bow is. And then I want to add a giant sparkling Dollar Tree poinsettia right here to the center of this bow. I just really felt like this bow needed some razzle dazzle, sparkle and shine, something to really kick it up a notch. And here's how it looks after I added the goodies. And the last thing I wanted to add was a beautiful gold bling jewel from totallydazzled.com. You guys, they have been having the most amazing sale where all of their jewels were like $1 to $1.50 each. So you guys go check that out. I'll leave their website linked down below. And then here is how it looks. I just popped it on top of a little riser so you can kind of see it above the other goodies. But as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be hoping to recreate. Now, I want to know, I'm going to ask you guys a secret question because I am doing a giveaway on this video. I'm giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. I'm going to announce the winner on next Thursday's video, but I want to know, what is your favorite hot drink? Comment down below for me.
Thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. I feel like crafting and decorating is so good for your heart and soul. So I want to encourage you all to keep up the good work, crafting and decorating and plugging in those glue guns and having so much fun just getting ready for the Christmas season. I also would love to invite you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. Click that bell. It will update you every time I post a new video, and I am posting that giveaway, so don't forget to enter and comment down below that secret question. Also, I want to let you all know that I have an Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. I have a free group page. You guys can pop over there and post photos of your home decor and DIY projects. And I just want to give you guys so many props for everybody who's joined me over there. It is a kind, amazing little social community for crafting and decorating, and it's positive vibes only. So we are having so much fun over there. So thank you everybody that's been over there. I also have Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram page. I share behind the scene sneak peeks of my little crafting decor projects, as well as Benji Bear the dog, Tinky the cat, my little family, my hubs, and just all my little crazy crafty mom things I have going on. So thank you guys for being here. It's a true blessing and an honor. I love y'all to the moon and back. I'm going to wish you a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed weekend. And until the next video, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. And we'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.